Namaste, everybody. Soul group, soul family, star family, subconscious community. Anyone at all in the entire community, anyone ever who ever existed tuning into this video, thanks for tuning in. What's going on? It's your boy Nick here from Full Moon Fallen Chillin', just on a typical day. It's been a crazy day, man, but haven't put up a video in a minute, and this video is not about me. So we're going to be talking about some juicy transits and cool stuff going on right now because, man, 'tis the season of the harvest, if you know what that means. Just got the brown shade here, so, that's what the harvest is representative of in many ways. It's the color of Virgo in many ways. It's like a deep, earthy brown, in many ways. And this is the season that we're now in as we're in approaching the basically the middle of the third trimester of summer here coming up. So what's going on is that um we're basically just going to talk about specifically Earth and the grand Earth trines that we've been having and that we will be having for the time being, because let's just be real, the shit is finally going down here, my man. Basically, that's what I'm trying to tell you, because that's what is going down for real. It doesn't matter if you have Earth in your chart, if you're, acquainted with the Earth energy, whether it's Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, or just, you just love the Earth in general. Doesn't matter about that. It's like, you could still be at risk for your status to be transformed in a way that is adverse to you if you don't, not like adversity is a bad thing, but in a way that's basically not optimal for you, out of your control, and that type of thing. If you're not aware of the transit going on right now and what houses you have, what signs in, and that type of thing. So you got to make sure you know your houses and what's going on. For me personally, my ascendant in Virgo, like I said, the video's not about me, but my ascendant being in Virgo, I'm just trying to give you guys a little perspective for anyone tuning in who's not used to astrology or just how the heck everything works and all that. I'm trying to let you know what it's like for me here. And basically what's going on for me is that I just had basically over half of the fucking goddamn solar system enter my first house. So so my first house being literally just had the new moon in Virgo on the degree of my ascendant the other day, 6 degrees Virgo. So now the sun is at 9 degrees Virgo as we're making this, and it's conjunct Mars. We're gonna get into all the transits, but I'm just gonna kind of tell you from my perspective real quick so you can dig what's going on if you're not used to it or whatever. Basically I've been experiencing an intense personal return in many ways, with a lot of energy coming back to me, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, like that's who I am and that type of thing. With all of these chakras and planets basically starting to spin into my first house, which is actually right here. So I mean, it comes down, first house is the head area and all that. So I got a lot of energy right now in my head, in my mind, and everything, and it's all Virgo type energy. So it's basically the highest realm. Hey man, not to I don't, I'm not stuck in my ego. I'm just saying it's the highest realm of intellectuality and type of thing, because this is where Mercury is exalted. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more, but just trying to go over the transits real quick because I did finally check up on them before I started making this video. So today is Sunday, whatever the day is, September 1st, actually. Yeah, so first day of September here. So, happy flight season to all the Virgos and all that, and everyone, man. Um, yeah, man, for real, man. So much love for all my Virgos out there, man. Jeez, man. So, Virgo, me in my first house, basically, I'm just having a bunch of energies. Okay, I think I talked enough about that for now. So let's get into the actual transits real quick. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty of Virgo. The moon's not far away from Virgo as we make this video here. Just one sign over in Libra, which is why it's a great opportunity for me to actually communicate this shit in a decent way to where I'm not going to be, shooting myself in the foot too much, and I'll actually perhaps have some relativity going on. Me being born on the full moon in Scorpio, relating to others in an emotional way is not always my expertise or whatever. Like, it is, but it's not like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just an interesting thing, man. My astrologers know what I mean out there, but it's basically the moon is all about relativity in many ways. Venus obviously rules relationships, but and that's what we're talking about, the sign of Libra and the moon being in Libra right now. But the moon in general just deals with the collective overall subconscious, and the collective, basically the collective conscious and the collective subconscious here, more specifically the collective subconscious. But out of that, that's what stabilizes the collective conscious. So you got to be able to dig it all. You can't just ignore the moon, you know. I mean, the moon basically controls and regulates all life on Earth in this entire area we're on. So, you know, we'll get to that. But basically, let's talk about the Virgo thing here going on here. So I briefly mentioned that the Sun and Mars are conjunct on the same degree, perfecting a conjunction right now in Virgo on the 9th degree. And then we've got Mercury just transited into Virgo, but he's still been moving fast since coming out of retrograde, but finally starting to slow down a little bit. And Mercury's actually at 7 degrees Virgo as I make this video. And so both Mercury, so Mercury's about to perfect that aspect with the Sun and Mars. And I'm pretty sure that Mercury will be fast enough to get to the 9th degree of Virgo before. Actually, you know what? Nah, the conjunction is going to happen, but it might not perfect itself between the three. I should have checked my ephemeris before I started making this video. Good thing I can't check it while I'm in the middle of it. But you know, beside the point, basically, you know, Mercury is finally in its home sign of Virgo. You know, Virgo represents the feminine or the yin side of Mercury here. So Mercury is all about, it basically is the planet that rules thinking and communication and analyzation, and it's a very intellectual left brain type planet. So it rules, is very air-like planet, but also Earth. And Mercury happens to make its feminine home to really stabilize itself, you know, because someone has to be the rock for all that damn intellectual energy and all that air. Shout out to the flight boss, as always, man, Archangel Uriel. But you know, something's got to stabilize all that damn air, and motherfucker, it's Virgo. All right, so all right, man. So that's basically that. So, you know, so not only is Virgo the sign of the yin dignity or yin rulership for Mercury, but it's also where Mercury is exalted as well, perfecting that exaltation on the 15th degree, which really would be 14 degrees Virgo if you think about it. So 14 degrees Virgo, which is actually where Venus is right now. That's the same degree Venus is on at this moment. But Venus, so yeah, we have Venus here too, a little bit ahead of Mars and the Sun and Mercury. So they're all there. We had the new moon in Virgo recently. So let's talk about that period before we get to now. So with the new moon in Virgo, basically, we had all around the 10th degree of Virgo, we had Venus, and Venus falls in Virgo. So Venus, the reception of Venus in Virgo is not having it. Venus is not getting what she wants, man. It's like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. She has absolutely no dignity at all. She might just be sleeping the whole time. So that's what's going on with Venus. But you know, Venus in general rules, you know, relationships and love and art and beauty and things like this. You know, this is Venus, so this is not a great time for things like that. You know, I'm sure people in the industry of beauty and you know, the sex industry or whatever modeling and all that type of stuff, like people who are, you know, their lives are I guess in a way revolve around beauty in many ways. Like, this is not necessarily the time for that. This could be a potentially not necessarily detrimental time. It's not like Venus is in Scorpio where it's like you really got to watch out for them creepers, but it's like Venus is in Virgo where it's like everyone just wants to talk to you right now and be focused on their own and others' ways of thinking and being practical. They want to be mutable and adaptable to their own and others' ways of thinking and being practical. That's what Virgo represents, mutable Earth. So it's literally, Virgo is that energy of being all talk. I've had people in my life tell me I'm all talk because I got so much Virgo. Like, that's my personality to the fullest, and I got so many planets there right now. I am not going to take a breath this entire video. And Mercury is literally on top of my ascendant right now, like 1 degree away. So we'll talk about that more in a sec. And looks like I have up to 44 minutes, so this might be a long video. We'll see, man. It's been a minute, so honestly, I want to put out some truth, man. So, you know, that's what I do it for, man. I do it for everyone, you know, who's passionate for truth and who, you know, gives a fuck about truth and stuff like that. Basically, we're just talking reality here. So and it's going insane, man. I mean, shit's going crazy. So damn, where to start, man? So I was just gonna go and list over the planets we had for this new moon in Virgo the other day here that took place on, I think, August 30th, whatever. Yeah, August 30th and shit. But like I said, happened on my conjunct my ascendant for sure. And I got a lot of energy in my first house. I got Mars there and stuff, and so I got a Mars return happening right now, which is cool. As well as the Sun returning to the beginning of my chart. But with this new moon in Virgo, we basically had Mercury on like the cusp of Leo and Virgo, so the cusp of exposure, right? So it's fixed fire and mutable earth, right? So Leo Virgo. So it's about it's more of seeing and feeling type of energy, being fixated on your own way of seeing and feeling type of energy, then it is like it's still focused on that to a degree. Like Mercury on that cusp might be talking and analyzing and communicating in order to get praise and things like this and attention. Like, sorry, that's just what Leo's about, you dig? So, but it's also conjunct Regulus, so that's Archangel or Archangel Raphael, the healer, the Archangel of physical healing, and the Archangel of the North and of air, the Angel of air. So this is Raphael. So honestly, Mercury does amazing here because, I mean, this is the fucking angel of communication and air. Like, Mercury is the planet of air and it's exalted in Virgo. So it makes sense that Mercury would become exalted on the 0 degrees Virgo. And so 29 degrees Leo is basically right there too. So Mercury is not doing bad there. So that's about where we had Mercury for this new moon. And then Mercury quickly slid into Virgo. So we're not tripping. And then we got so man, this is so much good stuff, man. So much good stuff. And so then we, like I said, we had Mars here in Virgo and Venus. So Venus made it in first. So we already kind of went over Venus and Virgo, what's going on there. It's not a time for love and beauty. It's like, shout out to all my beautiful ladies out there who are still looking beautiful despite Venus being in Virgo. I know you're not getting that love and appreciation and value, literally key right now. Like, people are not getting that. Like, trust me, I've been out in the world, man. So it's not going down right now. Like it's not to say people aren't getting down and fucking or making love or whatever they're doing, but it's fallen. It's like they might be doing it because it's like they feel like they have to, or there's an ulterior motive right now, and it's usually having to do with intellectuality. So potentially mistakes are being made in the love realm right now. Definitely, that's the type of Venus fallen energy right now. It's a potential to crash and burn when it comes to relationships and love and all that, right? But then you get Mars, and Mars just fucking adds fuel to the fire. Like, Mars is the damn fire. So Mars cruises up, with all that warlike energy and all that passion, cruises up into Virgo, and it makes us feel passionate and feel a desire to communicate on a much deeper level. Because, like I said, this is yin Mercury as well as the exaltation of Mercury. So Mercury is very, very, very comfortable here. It's like this is Mercury's home, as well as like he built a fucking, like he goes up to like he built the treehouse or whatever. Like he exalts himself in the house. He built a very tall house and shit. So he also goes skydiving off of his own damn house here in Virgo and different shit like that. So it's like Mercury, Mercury is having a damn blast, loving it there. Mercury can, people like me being ruled by Mercury, I can finally communicate well, like, for once. Like Mercury, like, it's crazy, man. Mercury throughout the signs is like Mercury in Pisces. We had so much Mercury in Pisces earlier this year. That's literally the opposite of Mercury in Virgo. So I'm so glad that Mercury has motherfucking returned to Virgo. So we're feeling a lot better about it now. But I already just kind of went over Mercury and what's going on here with Mercury. Mercury is a very mutable planet, so Mercury is used by everyone. Like, you don't go a day without communicating most of the time, unless you're on some sort of retreat and you're just choosing not to speak or whatever you're into. So I mean, you're using Mercury on a daily basis 99% of the time and shit like that. So right now, in general, in the body we're in, Mercury is in the gut area, in Virgo, in the basically like the intestines and the gut and the stomach and all this type of area, like basically like the sacral or the navel chakra, the second chakra. So a lot of emotions are coming up right now because we have Venus here, we have Mars here, like I just said. So Mars bringing that passion and that forward drive, that forward moving energy and stuff like that. That's what Mars is bringing, all that passion, motivation, and desire. And like I said, this is a return for me too, because I have Mars in my first house of Virgo too. So this is nice for people like me if you have Mars and Earth or whatever. But we also, now we can finally get to the damn new moon. 15 minutes in, now we're gonna finally get to the new moon, which will actually form the basis for the rest of this video. Jesus, like I said though, I barely taken a breath this whole video, man. So we're hitting it. I'm probably like, I'm using this Mercury, like I'm probably like 1,000 words in at least. I don't know, I'm probably thousands and thousands of words in by now, man. This is Mercury exalted right here, man. Mercury is conjunct my ascendant right now, and it's basically forming a perfected conjunction with my ascendant degree. It's like 1 degree off of my ascendant, and it's 1 degree off of perfecting a trine with where I actually have where my natal Mercury is in my chart, 6 degrees Virgo. So my ruling planet, I have a lot of dignity right now, way more dignity than I'm used to because I have Mercury in Virgo in the ninth house, and Mercury, I'll tell you, that shit gets tough, man. That's not necessarily admirable or whatever. It's admirable, I guess. It's not necessarily desirable. And right now I finally get to communicate my desires with all this Virgo energy, with Mars in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, Mercury, and Sun. So now we get to Sun and Moon. We get new Moon in Virgo. We finally get to the Sun and Moon. So let's talk about the Moon in Virgo. Moon loves being in Virgo. This is a super moon. I think this is where the moon is closest to the Earth, if I'm not mistaken. That's what people say and shit. You know, this is definitely a very Gaia ruled energy, right? Gaia being the primordial deity of the Earth element in general. So Gaia not just ruling the damn chakra we're on of Earth, or whatever you want to call it, that whether you want to call it flat Earth or you want to call it globe Earth or air, wave, air, wave. You get down, shout out again. But you know, doesn't matter how you want to look at it. This is Gaia energy to the max, and the moon obviously resonates very well with Gaia. You know, the moon is basically, you know, forms a very nice yin-yang duality with the Gaian energy. So the moon enjoys being in Virgo. It's a harvesting time. The new moon in Virgo is literally the time of the year of the harvest. Like, that's the time of the year they would harvest shit. Unless, yeah, pretty much. Or maybe it would have been the full moon during the Virgo season where the sun is. Who knows? But this is definitely the Virgo season right now. We just had the moon slide through Virgo. So with the moon in Virgo, we're talking about the moon enjoying being here. You know, it's a sextile from Cancer where the moon is at home, and it's a trine from Taurus where the moon is exalted. So the Virgo is pretty fat for the moon. You know, Capricorn, hell no. Scorpio, hell no. But Virgo, oh hell yes. You know, there is a sextile with Scorpio, so there's some shit the moon can get into in Virgo. Like, don't get me wrong, that is not desirable or whatever, but moon and Virgo in general could be a pretty damn synchronistic or synergistic alignment. Synergistic, I think that's what I meant to say. And so synchronistic as well, though, with all this damn fat ass stellium, man. Jesus, all these planets, man. So we get the moon. This is our subconscious realm and our yin, basically, you know, controlling all the tides, controlling all the females, all the yin energy, right? Controlling the womb, you know, controlling everything, the emotions. So the subconscious realm. So basically the realm that the realm of the unseen, which everything of the scene of the physical realm, of the 3D realm, manifests out of. It can't none of this physical wonderful life that we enjoy as, you know, Tauruses and Libras and just people of the earth, you know, earth people, earth children, basically. Like, we can't enjoy any of this without basically the subconscious realm as just like by default, you know. So don't ever think like, yeah man, that's how you get lost in the illusion. It's not all about consciousness. It's about going deeper within yourself into the subconscious and even the unconscious. And that's somewhat of an oxymoron, going into the unconscious, but basically the unconscious is symbolic of spirit, symbolic of pure frequency. So this is correlated to your rising sign, your ascendant. So this is why I'm able to basically just project my frequency right now, because of all these damn planets conjuncting my ascendant in my first house right now, and the ruler's there too. So, you know, ruler is there and exalted. So Mercury's like giving everyone the power right now. It doesn't matter that Venus is fallen, doesn't matter that Mars doesn't particularly like Virgo and it's slowed the fuck down in Virgo, because they can communicate about that shit. They can analyze, they can get all their shit done. That's the Virgo type energy. It's very service driven energy. They can get all their shit done and they can communicate and be vocal about everything. And basically, I mean, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And then when we have, you know, I just basically broke down the moon being here. You know, this is like what we're feeling. This is the energy that makes us feel comfortable. So this is the energy we're subconsciously, you know, acting out basically, and seeking. We're either acting it out or seeking it. It's basically one or the other. And with the new moon being here, it was a time to everyone basically had to experience that type of energy. Everyone, it was in a different area of your life for everyone. For me, it was personal. So I've had a personal rebirth soon, just like the moon just went through a personal rebirth in Virgo. You know, it's basically symbolic to me, you know, happening right on my ascendant, conjunct my ascendant, you know. So I've personally experienced a personal rebirth. It feels good. I don't know if you guys can tell through the videos, you know, but, you know, so we're not tripping. So then we can finally get to the sun being here. So like I said, you know, the subconscious is vast, and it's the feminine, it's the yin, and it's basically the anchor for everything that we can be conscious of, that we can actually see, that we can actually feel, you know, that we can actually we can actually see and be conscious of the fact that we're feeling the subconscious realm. Like that's the world we live in, man. So you might, you can enjoy your conscious life as much as you want, but you're still ruled by the emotions of others in many ways, and the emotions in the collective subconscious, the collective conscious, everything. It's all a collective. You can't escape this damn shit. You can't escape this, man. You can't escape this. You on Earth. You could be in solitary confinement, but you still gonna hear them other kids. I mean, yeah, you're gonna hear people like you. I just kind of busted into a little rap, but that's just the Mercury being exalted energy. Like I don't care that my throat is a little achy. Like I'm just like gonna be talking all night, man. So 20 minutes in, I'm not even breaking a sweat. I've taken like 2 to 5 breaths this whole time. I'm feeling good, man. All right, so with the sun being here, we're finally conscious of all of this energy, with Mars and Venus and the moon and Mercury, all these energies that I just kind of broke down and dove into a little bit in Virgo. The sun's bringing, they say the sun is 99% of the mass of our solar system, and they say everything revolves around it, all that, yada, yada, yada. The sun shines light on everything, damn it. So we're finally conscious of all this stuff. We're finally conscious of what? Of how we serve, of how we can be of service to the world. This is largely for me, like, I mean, this is huge for me, man. Like, I keep going back to myself, and I said this video wouldn't be about me, but it's just like, I can't not make it about me with like 5 damn planets in just transiting my damn first house. And well, actually the moon's in my second house now. So I'm not going to shut up. Like, you can silence me, but I'm not going to be silent, So it's like just dig it. So, okay, man. So the sun's shining light. It's all about being immutable and adaptable to our own and others' ways of thinking and being practical. It's all about practicality. This is a lot of critical type energy, man. People on the lower end of the energy, people are just being critical as fuck right now in like a million different ways, and they might not even realize it. That's the lower end of the vibration or the frequency of this energy here. But on the higher end, this is, like I said, this is the highest intellectual realm. I'm sorry, like, no offense to Aquarius or anything. I mean, that's kind of technically the highest or the lowest intellectual realm, depending on how you look at it. But I'm just talking planetary wise. Mercury is here exalted. Mercury is our intellect. It is our communication. It is our left brain in so many ways. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. Okay, so let's finally talk about a couple of fixed stars going on here, because we have a lot of profound influences from other constellations going on. Man, we're still on one sign, man. We've been stuck on Virgo for over 20 minutes, and we are not leaving anytime soon. So, like I said, during this video here, we have Mars and Sun conjunct on 9 degrees Virgo, Mercury on 7 degrees Virgo, and so basically all 3 of these planets are conjunct a pretty big significant star that we know as Thuban or Thuban, which actually is conjunct my ascendant, so I know about this shit. Like, dig it. Basically, that's why the fucking channel is called Alpha Dragon Guru. Actually, that's not this channel. Sorry, that's another channel. We'll get into it, man. Enough about me. Let's talk about y'all. And we're talking about... So this is some straight low-key dominance right here is what we're talking about here. It's like it's unmistakable, but it's still low-key. It's not necessarily right in your face, blow up in your face and shit, because this is not the face of the dragon, right? So Thuban is Alpha Draco, right? So it's Alpha Draconis. It's in the tail of the dragon, though. So this is yin. This is not yang. We're talking the yang is the head of the dragon and all that in Sagittarius in the galactic center, right? But we're talking about the actual brain of the beast, the actual feminine brain of the beast, which is in closer toward the tail. It's really like in the tail of the dragon. It's the brain of the beast. This is our former North Pole star, our most recent North Pole star before Polaris. And it's actually, supposedly we're shifting back to to Thuban right now as our North Pole star. So you better get with the Draco energy. This is just showing us basically how connected we are to the Draco constellation and just the dragon energy in general. The dragons are basically masters of elements, right? And so we use the elements, especially in this realm. I mean, this realm is built off of water and earth, and then we got air and fire. There's no denying it. So you know what that means? That means we got dragons. There's dragons here. Dragons have been here. And if they're not right in front of you right now, they were here. And then don't be surprised if they show up right in front of you, because it's like who are you hiding from? Like are you trying to say like there weren't dinosaurs ever? Like, there's always been dragons here. Like, so we're connected to Draco profoundly, and this is the Alpha Draco star. So it's not actually the Mercury exaltation. So it's not This is not the brightest star in the constellation, but it's definitely not the weakest star in the constellation. It's a very powerful star. No wonder it would be in Virgo. And actually conjunct this star as well is conjunct the Alpha Draco star of Thuban, and where Mercury and the Sun and Mars are right now is other stars as well, like belonging to the Hydra constellation, the largest constellation in the sky. And the second largest constellation is said to be Virgo. And this is all in the house of Virgo, the sixth house, the sixth celestial house. And so we're talking about Virgo the Virgin. And so we already went over the Virgo energy signature of mutable Earth, but basically when it comes to Mercury and Mars and the Sun being conjunct these big powerful stars in Draco and Hydra, we're talking about some intense divine dragon duality here. We're talking about some intense duality here, literally. I mean, we're talking Hydra is the giant female water snake, and Draco is the giant said to be male dragon, right? So this is an area of the zodiac where things really come together in conjunct the ecliptic on these big powerful constellations. And like I said, Draco they say is the 8th largest constellation, but we have a profound connection to it. There's no denying that. And there's no denying that. So this is a very Earth-like energy in general, and so it's very much what we're connected to here anyway. Like I was saying, with Virgo, the essential Gaia and Earth energy. So we're talking about not just Thuban and, Upsilon Hydra and other stars in this area, but we're talking about, let's see, so we got a lot of Ursa Major stars here, which is, they say, the 3rd largest constellation, I believe. And then, so we have a lot of Ursa Major and a lot of Ursa Minor stars here, as well as, like, clusters and things. So, like, straight up little systems and galaxies and all sort of cool shit. Like, this is the Greater Bear as well as the Lesser Bear. So this is the Bears and the Dragon. I believe they belong to what they call, like, the family of Draco or whatever. The Ursa, or maybe it's like the family of Ursa, but it's like they group like maybe 8 or so constellations together, and it's definitely based around Draco and then the 2 bears, the Greater and Lesser Bear of Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. So we got Big Mama Ursa and we got little baby Ursa, and little baby Ursa is what we currently is our North Star and shit, right? The alpha star of little baby Ursa, which is Polaris, the Little Dipper. This is what our current North Star is. So this is literally like right next to, like, not far at all from Thuban, which is our former pole star. So we get to here. So this is a lot of very heartfelt energy. Like, this is in the same, Virgo shares a space with Leo, but Leo is more about, like, the expression of the heart and the vastness of the heart, of the actual physical manifestation of the sun that we see, that scientists say is 99% of the mass of our solar system. That's because when you look at us, 99% of what you can see is the damn sun, right? So it's like when you look at the Canis Major constellation, 99% of what you can see is Sirius or whatever, right? So it's like that here. So when the sun is in Virgo, it's more like this is the harvest season, so it's more like the lower heart area, like the solar plex, the lower solar plexus area. So Cancer is like the higher chest and the lungs area in the 4th house, right? In the chest and the breasts and all that. Then you got Leo, which is like the deep heart, which is the solar plexus and shit like that, which is like your sun, right? Which is, your solar plexus, right? So it's it's basically the masculine shape and form that your spirit uses to interact with your Merkaba in this realm to produce light. This is your light bringer. This is your Lucifer. This is your Jesus. This is your son of God, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's your light and shit. So this is little light of mine, this is your little Lucy. We're talking about here in Virgo, this is next after Cancer, Leo, we got Virgo. This is the 3rd trimester of summer. So this is the harvest. This is like where we experience all of the abundance and all of the emotions and all of the balance that comes out of the higher and lower heart chakra and the solar plexus chakras when we get down into Virgo, the season of the harvest, where we're supposed to experience all the earthly manifestations of service and of hard work, that we've worked hard, all year. God damn it, since the beginning of the year in Capricorn, we worked all the way through Taurus and all the way to Virgo, and that's what the harvest is all about. We're talking Earth energy, Gaia energy, right? So if farmers and people will be able to dig this. Man, this is already a long video, man, but we're not even done with Virgo, not even close to being done. So we also got here, like, conjunct Venus right now, or we got stars like Asterion and Mizar and Koksar and things like this. Like, these are all stars from the Leo constellation and the Ursa Major constellation, as well as like Asterion and Chara and stuff. Like, all these stars are part of the hunting hounds, which is like the Canes Venatici or Venatasi or whatever whatever you say. Canes Venatici, held by, I believe, Boots, they say. And so these are the hunting hounds. This is Virgo. So this is Virgo. These are like detective. This is the detective type energy. This is like the silent but deadly type energy, and not so silent, mind you, because a hunting hound is like, they're going to be quiet when they're sniffing you out, and then when they sniff out what they know they have found, they're gonna bark like a motherfucker. They're gonna make a shit ton of noise. So these are literally the stars conjunct the ecliptic, where Mercury is in its full exaltation, super exaltation, the 14th, 15th degree of Virgo, right in that area. These are the stars that are conjunct, Mercury in its exaltation in the middle of its home sign of Virgo, and in its feminine rulership. So this is incredibly, incredibly potent and incredibly important information, basically important things to visualize. These are the stars that are forming the backdrop for basically the ecliptic, which is symbolic of the body we're in. It's not symbolic of it, it is the body we're in. It's what the luminaries are connected to, and all the planets. Like, it's not a coincidence that there's a quote imaginary line that all the planets revolve around and shit. Like, this is straight up science. So okay, man, so I think I might have talked enough about damn Virgo by now. This is where a lot of the Leo stars are now. We got Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, the Canes, Venatici, the hunting hounds. Pretty sure we got stars from Boots. We got a whole bunch of different stars and things like that going on here. Whoa, this is so weird. I'm like seeing people I know pass by. I am tripping out right now, but I think that people that I know or something, but wow. This is random. I'm in Laguna Beach right now, making a good video and whatnot, and I'm hanging. This is insane, bro. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god, I'm going insane. Might have to stop the video, pause it, and then come back for another part. Actually, I think they're gone now. I think I can get along. Okay, that was insane. I just saw some people that I never thought I would see again. Not like that's a bad thing. It's just like, whoa, like, what are you doing here, man? Like I said, a lot of personal manifestations coming to me personally right now. It's going pretty insane, basically, is what it is. So, yeah, man. So I think that's enough about the damn stars in Virgo. We also start to get, oh man, my phone's almost dead. Damn, the universe is trying to tell me to cut this video soon, I think. So I'm going to try to finish up. Oh man, there's way too much to talk about, man. I guess this video is just going to be called Virgo Stellium after all, because I wanted to talk about the grand earth trine and different things. I still see these people in my mirror too, man. Alright, my phone's almost dead and whatnot. Man, I wanted to talk more to y'all, but I'm going to get you with some more soon. So, this is insane, man. Okay, so, alright, man. Much love to the soul group, subconscious community, everyone out there tuning in, star family, soul family. So much love to everyone out there, man. Love and high intellect, all right, to everyone, man. Tis the season of the high intellect, all right? So, you know what? Like shout out to Infinite Waters, like Ralph Smart says, speak your truth even if your voice shakes. This is the time for it. So, man, there's a million more things I could say, but I'm going to cut it out there. Love y'all, man. Peace and namaste.